Cyber tension flares between the U.S. and China as President Obama gets set to confront Chinese leader Xi Jinping over hacker attacks on American military networks. Meanwhile, reports say Washington's launched massive preparations for an all-out cyber war. So the U.S. Department of Homeland Security is recruiting hackers, opening up to 40,000 job vacancies for cyber warriors. The Obama administration pledged to boost spending on cybersecurity and raise its funding to $3 billion in 2013. 40 U.S. teams of cyber agents are to be formed, and 13 of them assigned to launch hacker attacks. RT's Ganesh Chikan investigates.
The cyber race between the U.S. and China is starting to look like a real arms race. It has its drills, its spies, and both sides accusing each other of cyber attacks. This June, China will be holding drills with special IT units within its army for the first time. The chief of the U.S. Cyber Command, General Keith Alexander, says the U.S. is now busy setting up 40 new teams of cyber agents that will both protect America's critical infrastructure from hackers as well as launch attacks against the country's adversaries. And so that there is no confusion as to their capabilities, General Keith Alexander says, quote, "I would like to be clear that this team is an offensive team." The offensive nature of U.S. cyber defense program is emerging in new reports which say a large chunk of the country's current cyber endeavors does not rely on defensive strategy as one might imagine, but instead involves offensive operations launched with the intent of causing harm on the computers of adversaries. A recent Reuters article cites defense contractors and government officials, most of whom speaking on condition of anonymity, and the article says that the U.S. government has become the biggest buyer in a burgeoning gray market where hackers and security firms sell tools for breaking into computers. The U.S. has demonstrated its ability to carry out a cyber attack against a foreign country when they attacked Iranian nuclear facilities. A similar attack against the U.S. would be seen as an act of war by the Pentagon's own definition. There's a certain game of words going on here. When it's against the U.S., it's called a cyber attack. When it's the U.S. doing it, it's called installing software.